What actor/actress was completely 100% wrong for the role? Ferdia Shaw as Artemis Fowl. He conveys none of the intelligence, shrewdness or relentless determination of the book character. He comes across as a child dressed up in a suit and handed cue cards with smart-sounding lines to read unconvincingly. He's a child, so I'm going to lay the blame for that one on the casting director. Nah, that was the movie creator/Disney deciding the book wasn't safe enough. They completely butchered the character. From the first scene to the last. They butchered the rest of the movie too. Changed the story completely and then didn't want to spend the money to reshoot it and make it coherent at all. His last line in the movie, "I'm Artemis Fowl. And I'm a criminal mastermind," was so absolutely ridiculous because he just wasn't. He was in the book though. I never understand this. They pay millions for the rights to a wildly successful, well-selling book. And then are like, okay, let's just change the entire story and keep the aesthetic. Then they wonder why the film flops and fans of the book call it dog speep. John Voight is a snake hunter and Anaconda is him as a Paraguayan snake hunter? Lol. Because he learned his accent from his maid, who was probably not even from Paraguay. Fun movie. But he was ridiculous in it. Anaconda no. Joel McHale is Roy in the ill-fated US remake of the IT Crowd. We want a scruffy and misanthropic IT nerd. So let's get an actor known for charisma and confidence? Okay. My favorite thing about it was that they couldn't recast Moss, so they just kept Richard Ayoade. It's literally just Moss moved to America and living the same life as he did in the UK show. I actually want to watch it just to see Moss in America now. Mickey Rooney as Mr. Yunioshi. I think I remember that film. John Dorian as Dr. Acula. He is way too hammy. And not very threatening for a vampire who is behind loads of mysterious deaths in the hospital. He clearly only got the part because he wrote the darn script for it. It was also a very racist filming process where multiple times Chris Turk was told to act blacker. In good conscience, I can't support the film. A great ending for the movie though. I mean, it's really impressive when the name Dr. Acula comes on screen and they remove the dot. Squeeze the words together and reveal Dracula. Simply amazing. Maybe an unpopular opinion. But Sophie Turner as Jean Grey. I like her as an actress. But I just couldn't get into it. I felt like she struggled with hiding her accent. I hate it when she tries to do an American accent of any kind in roles. It's so terrible. I love her and normally don't care or notice when English actors do American accents. But hers just always sticks out. She does at least 3 different accents in this trailer alone, 2 different accents in the first sentence she says. It's kind of cool listening to it change midway through her first sentence. Her southern accent is crazy bad. Tease Nick Cage and Con Air level of bad southern accent. Wow, that is distractingly bad. Colin Farrell as Alexander the Great. As one of my old university professors once said, I wouldn't follow that guy to the end of my driveway. You can't talk about Oliver Stone's Alexander without mentioning that the madman has 4 different director's cuts of the film. I swear there's a good movie in there. Just give me another shot. Any film with 30-year-olds playing teens. I was so confused by Grease growing up. Why are these people that look the same age as my mom at school? Especially Stockard Channing. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love her. But high schooler with that face? Nah, son. Cats. I got real tired of Rebel Wilson real quick in James. Pretty much the whole thing. I think I might just hate James Corden. I will take a look in the future and say Mark Wahlberg as Sully in the Uncharted movie. Following this up with the entire cast of the Borderlands movie. Cate Blanchett as Lilith and Kevin Hart as. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. The only one that even makes a little sense is Jack Black as Claptrap. But even then, why not just use the VA from the games for the character? He's probably going to be CGI and it would probably be cheaper anyway. Cameron Diaz was horrible in the 2014 Annie remake. She hasn't made a movie since. To be fair, anyone would look terrible in comparison to Carol Burnett's Miss Hannigan. There is a moment where she stares thoughtfully at a painting, hung perfectly straight on the wall, before tilting it slightly so it looks level in her drunken state. I have no idea if that was in the script or something she did in the moment. But it's perfect. Her performance is a masterpiece. Kevin Hart is Roland in the upcoming Borderlands movie. Everyone who knows anything about Borderlands will agree with me. Terry Crews should be playing Roland. He's big, has comedic chops, and can play the no-nonsense straight-shooter badass when everything else is wild. Agreed. Kevin Hart is not Roland, not matter how anyone tries to make it so. Blanchett as Lilith doesn't fit for me either, tbh. I can see Lee Curtis as Tanis. She has the face for it and could do that craziness well. Jack Black as Claptrap would be funny as Peep. And I do love Jack Black to bits. But they could have kept the same voice from the games and it will probably be the same. I'll watch it. But I won't pay for it, lol. Every actress cast as Sue Richards. The Invisible Woman. From the Fantastic Four so far. The problem there is always trying to make the F4 into action movie protagonists. When they really aren't. You really need something like a scientific-based disaster movie for them to really shine. But Studio execs told me that seeing the super genius team be super geniuses is boring. Instead, let's have the super genius man do the stretch thing and then the flame man be all whoosh, and then angry rock genius says it's time to clobber while the sexy girl is Jessica Alba. Yeah, seriously, I'm not even a huge fan of F4, but they've got a team of dynamic characters all akin to Tony Stark and Bruce Banner. And we've seen how enjoyable it was to see those two actually use their intellects together to solve problems. Annabeth in the Percy Jackson movie. The main physical feature was supposed to be the blonde hair. And they somehow messed up on that. They picked that actress for the eyes and the eyes alone. Undefined. Her eyes are extremely attractive, I can't even lie. Pretty much everyone from the Percy Jackson movies. FTFY. Pretty much everything in the Percy Jackson movie. When the author of the books is actually recommending not to watch the film. So it won't give his books a bad name. To be fair. I watched the movie before reading the books at probably age 11. Maybe? I enjoyed the movie not knowing about the source material at all. My dad brought home the first 3 books in the series as a surprise for me a week later, and we both realized how laughably different the book and movie were. So, the movie still brought new readers into the series. No matter how bad it was. Steven Seagal is a person who can kick ass. Steven Seagal is a person in general. Ike their names. But the main protagonists in the live-action remake of Dragon Ball and also the one in The Last Airbender. What's crazy to me is how these movies still were able to make a profit. The abysmal casting is barely noticeable when literally everything else about these movies also sucks. Everyone in The Last Airbender movie. Especially considering the fact that they took the waterbenders, canonically the nation with the darkest skin coloring, and made all of them white. Then made the firebenders dark-skinned. They casted Aang based on a martial arts demonstration video he submitted. Not on acting prowess. You can get creative with VFX to make a fight look better. But you can't make an actor act better. The kid is actually not all that bad. If you look at behind-the-scenes footage, he's actually really lively and cheerful. Like Aang. The direction told him to be the stiff, emotionless board of a character.